All right, here we go. Had to go ahead and switch spots real quick. All right. So yeah. So pretty much, just kind of talking about, both our companies. I'm the owner of Right Now Networks, specializing in cybersecurity, network administration for federal, state, government, and small businesses. I also own a Right Now Radio podcast. But tell me about your business. So what's the name of it, and what will you specialize in?
Yeah, it's the Titan Tech Group. We specialize in cybersecurity, data forensics, and training for veterans who are trying to transition over to IT. So me and a few of my buddies from high school who are all in, we all in IT.
Yeah.
One of our buddies is a disabled vet, and we was like, hey man, let's put something together. We were all doing stuff in our own lane, and we was like, we all had the same type of mindset of really just wanting to help people.
Mhm.
And we was like, what can we do for ourselves and what can we do to help other folks? So we started the Titan Tech Group. We started bidding on contracts,
Yeah.
and we're hoping to get some of these contracts pretty soon. We got a
That's my next step. I'm in the process trying to build on some myself. So, just trying to I've already looked at Fed ITC.
mhm.
I looked out there, so I'm looking trying to bid, trying to get me a office space as well. So those what I'm working on.
Yeah, and it's cool because I literally was talking about this last night to the guys I talked to on Thursdays that's trying to transition over. I was like, man, anytime, because one of them asked me like, man, like I never met a person. This is Desi talking to me. I never met a person, but I'm trying to find a job. You tell me to pray, because that's what I tell him. He's like, man, when you were applying all these jobs, what else did you do, man? You couldn't just. And I always tell him, I said, well, I prayed. I
Well, I
said,
did. I actually did.
yeah, if it's meant for you to, if it's meant for God to give you this thing,
Thank you.
it's going to happen, and He's going to give you
Mhm.
provision for it. And I had a company before that I was working on with one of my buddies, and it went left. Like he did some stuff, and we had to like separate.
I've been
And
there
I
too.
remember,
I've been
and
there
I
too.
remember, yeah, and I remember what I said to him when I found out what he did. I said, "Listen, bro, I love you." I said, "We just can't be in business together." I said, "We can still be cool because I'm not that type of person." He said, "But we'll never do business ever again."
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, and here's the thing: the whole time we were trying to get stuff done, there wasn't provision for it because in my mind, because the disconnect was this: he had already, like I said, he had already transitioned to IT, making lots of money. I ain't transitioned yet, but he's spending personal money to build a business, like money out of his own checks. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. You raise money, you know what I'm saying, you get business loans, you get
Grants.
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 Yeah, you do
That's
those
my
things.
thing. That's my
And
thing.
if it's meant for you, if it's meant to work, then those things will be given to you.
It's
You
funny,
still
man.
got to
You say that. What? Not to say too much about that past dealing. I had a similar situation with my old friend doing business with. I'm like, hey, we just can't do that, man. We tying up something we don't need to tie up.
yeah. So ultimately, when I got with my business partners now, we were all on the same page. He was like, okay, first of all, how do you want to grow? We want to lay a strong foundation, and we want to do things step by step. We
Mhm.
meet every Wednesday for an
Okay.
hour. Everybody get homework. Everybody responsible for their homework. And something that I learned is, don't go in business with somebody who's doing the exact same thing as you, because you
Why
don't
why
need
is
each other.
that? Why is
Because you
that?
don't need each other.
Hmm.
It's important because you don't need each other. If y'all doing the exact same thing, how are you bringing value if you do the exact same thing?
That's right. You're
All
right.
of us do something different, but we all have the same goal. I think that's what makes our team good. So like,
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to do some cybersecurity training. One of our boys, we called it the Titan Tech Group because we all went to TC Williams. Remember the Titans? So we called it the Titan Tech Group. So like, the person who's doing the cybersecurity training, he already had a business doing cybersecurity training.
Mm-hmm.
So we was like, well, he already doing it. We know he's a good guy. let's see if he'll come on the team. And when he got on the phone, he's like, y'all two doing this? He's like, I'm with it. Let's go. And we was like, all right, well, this is our plan. We're trying to build it slowly. We're not trying to jump out the box and get 20 and 40 and $50 million contracts. We want to get something that we can manage. We want to get something that we could, not fumble the bag the first time around. You know what I'm saying? And then like so far, since we've been doing everything, like we talking about you need an office. So, we're gonna be doing virtual offices. If you know what I'm saying, like you rent the office when you need it. But guess what? The person who runs that business is another former, student that went with us to school, and we didn't even know.
Oh,
my boy was like, oh man, I know somebody who can help us. And he used to do, because he's former military, but he used to do customs. He used to work as a customs agent. And he was like, yo, I caught back up with her like a few months ago when I had to bring her back in customs because I had to send it to the back. And then we started talking, and this is what she do for a living. He called her up, and she was like, oh, it's you guys. I'm not charging y'all full price. I'm going to charge y'all $35 a month. So you be able to get a professional address to get our stuff sent to, and to be able to use any office we want to. $35 a month. That stuff supposed to cost $700-800 a month. So it's like the provision is there because we believe is what God wants us to do, and it's like we know where we want to do it. We know we're doing it because we want to help folks out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like all the people that I'm mentoring, they're trying to get in IT. I already told them, like, listen, if we get a contract, who do you think I'm gonna put on it? You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't rocket science. It's like you build it, and you're like, y'all, all right, well, you're gonna be on a contract. So, that's where we are. And even though we're in the beginning, I believe we're gonna be very successful.
I believe it too.
Just simply because, man, like, there's nothing like having a group of brothers that's on the same page. Like nothing. I think it's good that we're all going into business from a position of strength. Like none of us need money. You know what I'm saying? All of us are making well over six figures. So none of us are stressing out about, oh man, this business gotta pan out. Like, let's take this $1 million loan so I can pay my money. It's not like that. It's like all of us are good.
Thank you.
You know, all of
That's
us are in a position.
That's very important because when you don't have people on the same page, there's so many different hidden agendas. I say hidden agendas, meaning that they won't tell you that they're trying to, get money from other sources, but that's what's going on behind the scenes. And that's gonna mess the whole thing up.
And then like everybody want to be a big dog.
Yeah, that's gonna mess it all up, man. That's gonna mess it up. That's gonna mess it up.
And I was like, well, I called my boy Greg. I'm like, well, you the person that's a disabled vet, so you own 51%. You got to be the majority owner. He was like, bro, like it's just like that. I'm like, yeah, like I'm like, what's the like? So let's say like at the end of the year that we paying out dividends one day.
Yeah.
And you make let's say dividends for 1 year is like $5 million later on down the road. I just use it as a hypothetical. And it's three of us. You think I'm gonna get mad because you made an extra million than me and we all millionaires from the hood? You think I'm gonna care about that? No, I'm not. Like, okay.
You wanna know what? Man, Shad, guess what though? To the person who's not a millionaire, who's money hungry, yeah.
Well, that's why I said you got to go in from a position of strength.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go from a position of need, and I can't say want because we're going in a position of want. We want to do this. We don't need to. So when you go in a position of need, if you go in that way, you are trying to figure out a way to get money quick, and you worry about like, oh, we started this business together, it should be 50-50, but you don't understand like how government contracts work and the benefits that you get if you have a disabled veteran in a minority company, as a minority, as the head person, whether it's 51%, whether it's 60%, whatever the difference is to make that person a majority, it far outweighs the negative side to you anyway. Like you're gonna get more opportunity to make more money by having that person be the majority owner anyway. It's like, ain't nobody tripping. Like it was funny. We were joking about it because we all of us come from an environment where like it's like crabs in a barrel. That's the environment we come from. So
Hmm.
like we were joking because I had to get like we had to get the professional emails for
Yeah,
and get our website and everything.
I
And I
can
was like,
only
oh
imagine how this going, but yeah,
no, it was funny. It was like
yeah,
I was like,
no,
okay.
yeah,
I was like, well, I'm gonna pay for it with my own money right now because we waiting on the debit cards to come in and stuff like that for the business account. And they was like, all right, well, we'll send you each one of us will send you $4.40 because we don't want you tripping over. But it's a joke. But it's, but it's really a joke. It's like that's how
yeah,
people really act. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like dealing with money and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, we about to be in a position. And when we about to be in a position to make millions of dollars, I know we're gonna do it. Because all the stuff is there, all of the foundations there, the provisions there, like um, even bidding on contracts. My wife's best friend bids on contracts for a living. Like literally, we had a meeting with her and said, "Hey, we'd like you to be the person that helps us bid on contracts." She's like, "All right, send me a contract." So I went on Chat GPT and made a contract and sent it to her. So
man.
something as simple as that, and then
Excuse me. Whew.
bless you.
Man, thank you.
But yeah, and I would say because I know we're getting down to the hour. I would say my ultimate goal in all of this is, really just to put my family in a position to just have
Absolutely.
options. Choices.
Absolutely. Same here.
Um,
My man goes for better Right Now Networks and Right Now Radio. I want to build my own brand, not only for myself, but to give the community a voice to promote themselves and keep them aware of all the not only tech opportunities, but other employment opportunities out here. That's why I highlight a lot of entrepreneurs on my show. So they can advertise their brand, where they're located, and just make people aware of how they plan to unite the community too. But like building a legacy. I want to build something that's gonna outlive me, pass down to my children, future grandchildren, everybody in my family. I mean, I hear a lot of people say different things about, well, when I die, somebody else gonna get my house, my car. I don't want them to get that, but I'm like, you know what? I want them to have it. I really do. Because
yeah, man.
like I said, something needs to stand here. I don't want to leave nobody with nothing. Because you know
Yeah,
what?
it's all borrowed anyway.
Because exactly, and see, man, like my past ancestors didn't leave me with nothing. They supported me throughout my life. So I'm make sure I continue that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make sure I continue that. Man, the
yeah. I
one thing I want
mean,
to ask you, and life's a journey. We live and we learn. You and I both have learned some tremendous things throughout our lives and IT careers, right? But that counts in our daily lives and professional lives. Being that we live and we learn. But what do you wish that you wish you knew before starting your career?
I wish I would have knew the office politics when it
Oh
comes
man,
to
me too. Me too.
being a black man,
A young black man at
and
that. I
young
was
black
so
man,
green. I was so
young
green when
black
I was
man.
25. I was so green. I'll be honest, man. I laugh at that now, but yeah.
Yeah. So learning now, I will say this. Um, I wish I would have known a little bit more of the office politics when it comes to making this type of money and dealing with, I say, palm people. Um, because if you make more than them and you seem like you're more intelligent than them for whatever reason, they get, highly, feel threatened and they start making stuff up and trying to like get you fired and all that stuff, other stuff. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
would say, another part of my story is, growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in, I was part of a mentoring group called the Untouchables that's been going on since
Oh,
1988.
okay.
And basically, it's a group of guys older men who mentored us from the time we were elementary school. And the group's still going on now. This group has met two presidents, met Clarence Thomas, been on Oprah Winfrey's show, been on BET. Um, you know, they've done so many different things. And the one thing that I got to do was I got to watch men who look like me that came from different walks of life, what I'm saying, debate with each other, argue with each other, and then when the group was over, love on each other. Because they had the same common goal, which was what can we do for these young black boys to have them become successful. So how that helped me in my work environment is when I started to see how people were interacting with me, I'm able to adjust. I'm able to adjust. Okay, I can talk about these things with this person. I can't talk about these things with this person. And I learned very quickly when you're in those environments, you can't talk politics with them. You absolutely not. You don't talk
Absolutely
religion
not.
with them. Politics and
No.
religion, you talk about. You keep everything light. And if you want to talk some shit, I'm saying if you want to talk some shit, talk some trash, talk about sports.
Thank you. That
Sports,
man, like that's my go-to. That's my go-to, man. Sports.
sports is safe. Now, one of my boys, man, he recently got fired from Oracle, because his manager, who worked directly for Oracle, not a contractor, um, found out how much money he was making and got mad and fired him. Figured out a way to get him fired, which was crazy because like when you work for Oracle as a contractor, they pay you more. When you work directly for Oracle, they don't pay you as much. You know
I
what I'm saying? I
noticed
mean,
that.
it's still a lot of money, compared
Yeah,
to everyone else.
but man,
But
contract you can get serious bad
yeah,
in
so like
contracting.
I think for his skill level, he was making like 250 an hour for his skill level, and his team lead, the
Hmm.
one that you got him fired, was only making like 85.
That's what.
But once he found that
That
out,
is what.
and I used to try to tell him, I said, man, you can't be stunting on people, man. You gotta. I don't do no stunting. If I, even when I had to go into the office, no stunting, and don't nobody know what I have,
See,
don't
man,
have.
I'm finna compare this and like a 90s clothing line store. Pretty much your homeboy was FUBU, his boss was Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
But yeah, like
That's what's going on.
man, this dude when the work talking
Tommy
about,
Hilfiger.
he told me the story, and I said, man,
Yeah,
that dude was gonna fire you as soon as you told him that story. He was
yeah.
like, yeah, man, for my birthday, I'm thinking about, getting me a private helicopter ride over DC, and then, what I'm saying, I'm gonna take me and my lady, we're gonna take a private jet down to the Keys. You can't talk like that.
But guess what? You're right. You're absolutely right. But guess what though? Uh, people on the up end do it.
Well, that's the thing.
You're
That's what
right
I'm
now.
like. You
I
have to
wouldn't
learn
do
how to
that, but
adjust.
other people do it.
You can do it when you run it. So like when you run your company, let's say if I'm talking to another CEO, let's say that same CEO that gave me the raise, let's say I have my own company and we both on a golf course and I'm talking shit. Yeah, I can do that because we both own something. He can't fire me. He can't get in his feelings about something that I'm doing
Right.
because we're both and I found that out too. Like the higher level you go in this working world, this professional world, if you're up here, yeah, you can talk like that. But if you believe somebody and somebody your boss,
No
you got to,
way.
you know what I'm saying? You got to
No
learn
way.
what to say, what not to say. And a lot of times what we do is when we get this type of money, we want to shine instead of just saying, you know what, I don't need to shine because my most important responsibility is that my family is shining. And like, okay, you can have a Benz, but why everybody at work got none? You can have you can have whatever, but why everybody else got none?
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes we gotta keep those things to ourselves. When I talk to folks about getting the IT, they'll know, that when I get close to them, they'll know what my salary is, but I only tell them that so that I can show them a comparison. Bro, I'm showing you this was my check just two
Hmm.
and a half years ago.
Yeah.
This is what I make in a week for one job. And I'm no different from you. I didn't know any IT in 2015. I knew the basic stuff like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I know how to jailbreak a phone.
And hey, around that time, jailbreaking was a thing. 'Cause we know, we used to repair iPhones, but back then, that was a thing, man. I was like, dude, everybody was doing that. Crazy.
And I joke with
Like
people. I
y'all gonna
say,
get caught.
I
Y'all
say,
get caught,
everybody talk
man.
about no IT. I said, everybody that's a millennial know IT because they had a MySpace page. And what did we have to do on MySpace back in the day? We
Man,
had to actually code. My
Code to
kids
get your
code.
background. You get the
Yeah, learn
background, your favorite
code.
song playing. You know, you know, everybody had that Mike Jones back then. Back then they ain't want me. And,
Yo,
yeah, T.I. whole album was out there. The 24s, the trap music, everything was out there. So yeah, that's them MySpace days.
but yeah, so I can say right now, man, I couldn't ask for a better life.
Me
Um,
too. Amen.
you know what I'm saying? We'll, I'm pretty sure we'll just exchange numbers and probably, just link out off of this or whatever. I'm gonna have to invite you to my Sunday group that we do called the
Yeah,
Collective. That's something else. It's just a group of
please
people
do.
that try to accomplish things, man, and
Please do.
we just come together and try to encourage each other to accomplish our goals,
Please do.
no matter what industry it's in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and man, from where I come from, like I couldn't write a better script than this right now. Like,
I
you
feel
know
the
what I'm
same way.
saying?
I feel the
And when
exact
I look
same
at
way.
yeah, so like when I look at where I'm at now, and I look at the opportunities that I'm giving, my family and my children,
Yeah.
man, like
And
my children are proud.
from like what I'm giving my family, people I mentor, seeing them grow, seeing them achieve,
Yeah,
starting from the ground up, right, getting their first job in IT, getting their first certification. I'm talking to one of my old students right now. Actually about trying to get an office space because she just got a bigger office space for her cybersecurity business. She told me about another location, seeing everything she's doing, how she's being in contracts now. I was just like, wow, just seeing that. I mean, like, and
yeah,
I know for over the last 7 years or so, and I just watched her grow. It's
yeah,
amazing to
man.
know that knowing that I had a hand in that, and that made me feel really good. It's rewarding.
Yeah, and it's very rare to find folks um that want to help people without getting anything back. It's
Oh
very
man.
hard. I
Whew.
was telling my guys last night, I was like, my goal for you guys is like let's say for instance, Desi and Billy, y'all start a company together. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I brought y'all together and I told y'all so I need some money. I'm gonna be like, I'm happy for you, man. How you need me support?
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah.
about that. And I was like, man, I was like, listen, if anything, I'm like, listen, y'all make y'all bag, everybody put $20,000, $30,000 to the side on their own, and we come together and figure out how we can use that money to build a bigger business together. Or, and I always joke, but I'm jokingly serious. Buy 2,000 acres of land in Africa, and we can
Yeah.
and we do our own thing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, it's amazing, man. Having two kids that are in private school, having two kids who are about to get homeschooled. Um, Basically, I retired my wife, and she was making six figures as an
Wow.
educator. So when I met her,
Mm,
yeah, like she was making
mm.
six figures herself, and I said, well,
She taught at the university level. I'm just asking.
no. So she was teaching for the Baltimore City schools in Maryland, and if you know anything
Mm.
about Baltimore City schools, it's like the worst education system, probably one of the worst in the nation. And
I didn't know that
she was
part.
one.
No.
Yeah, she was one of the top educators, probably in all United States for the time that she was teaching, and then she became a literacy coach. And basically, a literacy coach is a coach, a teacher who teaches other teachers how to be teachers, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
when somebody comes on a job, she's teaching them the skill set to be able to survive in an urban environment and be able to teach and be effective. And yeah, she was making six figures doing that. She's written books on urban education. Um, right now, she's working on creating a class for new incoming teachers that's going into the urban environment, um, based on her own experiences. And she was very successful. And then when she moved here with me, because basically I live 2 hours away from where she lived, and so when she moved with me, I was like, I mean, you can work if you want to. And she started looking for jobs, and she's like, you know what? I would like to be home with my kids. I said, that's fine. And when you talk about provision, my salary increased almost 2.5 times what her one salary was. So I was already making six figures. And then guys said, okay, you doing it my way. You taking care of she's staying home and God doing God's way. So I'm bless you. Here you go. Like, so I went from making So literally from the time I was making like 130 and then my company moved me because I asked to be moved closer to my house. And then they accommodated me, gave me a $20,000 bump. But then my previous job, I was doing so well at it. That's what I was doing, like data forensics and data engineering. Mind you, that's another thing. I hadn't done data engineering before. They put me on a contract. The dude said, "Man, it's gonna take you 6 months to learn all this." I learned it in a month, and I became like the top person for our team while I was there. So when they moved me, when I went on another contract, they was like, "Well, the guy, the team lead, was like, well, you can stay, you know what I'm saying, part-time if you want." And they paid me my full salary doing part-time hours. I would literally, and I'm a dude that grinds. So I wake up, go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's an hour away. I get there at 5 o'clock in the morning, work from 5 to 10, drive back home, sign on to my computer for my day job. And then and still have the Oracle job on the weekend. So I was making like $415,000 for like a year. Now, now I'm
Hey.
down. Now I'm down to 325 because I don't have that part time anymore. But it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like all that happened as soon as I married my wife. Like literally, you know what I'm saying? It happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm able to do what I'm able to do because I have a wife who supports me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Like she support me. She take care of home. But I also take care of. I also made sure I still use her for all the skills because she's highly educated, master's degrees. She's great at what she does, and I'd be a buffoon not to be able to use her skill set. So, I'm able to do what I do because I can use her skill sets too. If I have to study for something, I get the best educator in my house. So I'm gonna go to my
Right.
wife. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Absolutely.
that's just what it is. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. That's great stuff. And one of the last thing I want to ask you today before we get off is that as an entrepreneur, what are the best and worst parts of being an entrepreneur, owning your own business?
um, the best parts is you're doing something for you and your family. So you're always going to have that benefit, and always have your why. So if that's your why, your family, and be able to put them in the best position. So and also having your own schedule. Um,
Yes,
the
I
down,
love that
I
too.
guess I would say I guess I would say it's a downfall, but people mistakenly think that when you work for yourself, you're gonna have more time to yourself to do things. It's a constant grind. So I have two positions right now, and I have working on my own business, and I'm constantly going. You know what I'm saying? Like
Me too.
you don't work regular 8 hour days. You work 16, 18, and 20 hour days. Um, and you don't you get the nap. You don't sleep, you get the nap. So I literally have an unofficial nap schedule between like my jobs and meetings. Sometimes I just take like a 30-45 minute nap. I
Yeah.
probably get like 4 hours at night of sleep. But that's the thing though, it's temporary. That's another thing. It's just temporary, man. Like I'm 35 years old. um
Same here. Same here.
my goal is to be done and have my money working for me about the time I'm 40 years old. So I'm a grind hard as I can for 5 years, and then have my businesses, really working for me. Um, but yeah, man. And I would encourage anybody, man, just do the work, man. It's hard at first, but once you get into the routine of just working hard and working long hours, it becomes like your normal thing. And I
Hmm.
always used to, and when people when people talk to me and they always try to like give me the negative side of, how I'm living my life to do what I'm doing. I said, well, you don't say about that about Jay-Z or P. Diddy or
So don't.
Elon Musk. Them people
They
don't
don't.
sleep. Money
They
don't
do.
sleep. You know what I'm saying? So if they're regular human beings, if they can do it, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
if they can do it, y'all can do it. I mean, it's just about what's important to you. If you want to go down this route, go 100%, and you're gonna get the results out because as long as you keep working and develop a skill set that somebody can't take away from you, like I'm always gonna be able to make six figures no matter what. That's what I love about
Yeah.
developing a skill set that I have right now. Like once you do the hard work and develop the skill, somebody can fire you, you're gonna have a job next week. Somebody can fire you, you can start your own company. And
Yeah.
it's not gonna be hard to make that transition for you because you've done the work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, you know, now you're creating additional value for yourself and additional income and wealth. So, you know, that's a lot of longevity. And you know, I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page. Yep. Man,
Hey,
bro,
but let me
Shad.
tell you, if I get this, if we get a $10 million contract first, I'm retiring.
Listen, I don't know if I get 5 million, I might consider it. Man, hey, now listen, man. Thank you for all your time and all the good wisdom and nuggets you share with us tonight. And you know, and the most important, we need to stay connected. You know, make sure you invite me to your Sunday group too.
Oh no, most definitely. I'll send you the link.
Okay, okay,
We right
yeah,
on Zoom too. So
okay, all right, that's perfect, man. But oh yeah, and coming this summer, I'm gonna have a big tech conference right here in Montgomery, Alabama. And you're invited. Bring your boys with you, man.
all right, I mean, we'll do, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be probably late June or early July. I'm working on that
Okay,
right now. Yeah,
all right.
yeah, but yeah,
Man,
man.
you know,
So,
these northern boys, man, coming down there, man. You gotta look out for us, man.
but see, but see
I
that
ain't
you
trying-
know that I say that's what I like. I like, you know, sharing all our experience and resources together. You know, just seeing how we
yeah,
do things. You know, I like
but
that.
yeah,
Yeah. So you know, wrapping up another episode of Rite Now Radio. Mash again. What time is it?
right now,
Right
right
now.
now.
Right now, everybody.